We hear a lot about commercial awareness and how it's such an essential skill, but what actually is it?
So what commercial awareness is fundamentally is seeing the world from other people's points of views. It's the difference between theory and practice. It's all about understanding the context in which you're operating. Really, commercial awareness is fundamentally common sense. It's being able to take a situation and say, I can see this from all different angles, and as a result of that, I'm going to be able to make decisions, offer advice, and understand situations accordingly.
And why is commercial awareness just so important to legal recruiters and law firms?
Well, law firms are providing a professional service, that's what they do. That means that they're actually acting in the interests of a client. Now, if you're going to act in the interests of a client, you need to understand what the client is trying to achieve, what their limitations are, what's important to them. And that involves you actually having an understanding of the world they're operating in, what the parameters they need to look at are. So it's really a case of, in the case of law firms, they're looking for you to have the ability to think through other people's eyes, to have the analytical skills and the background knowledge to be able to offer really good advice.
How can candidates demonstrate that they have commercial awareness when they're filling in their applications and meeting recruiters and so on?
Well, what they really need to do is make sure that they're properly informed, make sure that they're curious. So what that means is particularly keeping up with current events. I mean, quite often you'll hear people say, oh, you must be reading the Financial Times. Well, it's not so much that, it's engaging with the world around you, thinking about it, understanding what the positions are, and being able to have an intelligent conversation where you demonstrate your knowledge, where you demonstrate your thinking process. What you don't want is to be just living in a bubble with your concerns and nothing else and no interest in the outside world. You're clearly going to be a terrible lawyer if you can't actually understand more than what's immediately going on around you.
Sure, being curious is pretty integral to the role of a lawyer.
Absolutely.
Do you have any final tips for how people can develop and build their own commercial awareness?
Well, yes, as I said, first of all, don't live in a bubble. Look at the world around you, engage with it, make sure you understand what's going on, and that involves reading, listening, taking part. Secondly, when you actually do come across a situation, do a little thought experiment, break it down. Think about what the people involved are thinking, what their positions might be, what they're trying to achieve, what their red lines might be. A couple of interesting examples to work through might be, say, the strike on Southern trains that happened last year. Now, what you had there is you had three key parties. You had the workers and the union on one hand, you have the train company, and then you have the government. What were they all trying to achieve? And actually, that's quite a fun one for looking at how those different moving parts relate to each other. Another good example might be, say, a car firm in the context of Brexit. We've just seen a couple of days ago that Jaguar Land Rover are talking about moving to Slovakia, I think it was. Why are they doing that? How do the economics of that work? What do they want to achieve there? Why are they doing it? And what are the implications for the other parties, for the British government, for the UK economy, for the economy of the EU? Just think it through, think what people are doing. The final one I'd think is remember that commercial awareness isn't just business. Commercial awareness is really human behaviour. So the dynamics you see in commercial awareness in business are actually the same as you might see in a family or a club you're part of, or people at your university with. It's all about who wants what affects their behaviour, what's good for them, what's bad for them. If you can understand that, then you might be able to work your way through and come up with really good solutions. And remember, coming up with solutions is what lawyers do.